I am the big tank.
On the battlefield of life, nothing's harder than a tank. Yeah, have you ever met a man, hearts full of love, bigger than a tank?
Big tank.
He served in a few wars, he's a veteran that stands for a cause. For the best interviews and news, just keep it glued to the
Tank. I
tank.
am the tank. Big
Big
tank.
Tank Talk.
Tank.
Big Tank Talk.
Tank. Friends, and welcome to another episode of Big Tank Talk. Today we have the pleasure of talking with IronManMike. IronManMike, welcome to Big Tank Talk.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here. You are amazing, and I appreciate you sending the invite.
Well, brother, you are amazing, and it's an honor to have you here. Every first question is the same. Tell us a little bit about you and how you came to be on Clapper.
Absolutely. Well, my name is Mike Ureta, otherwise known as IronManMike. Hey, I got my name due to the fact that I completed 3 Ironman races, 1 full and 2 halves. And my fitness journey started as a young man at 12 years old. But basically, yeah, IronManMike is just, when I registered for Clapper a little over 5 years ago, it said, "What name do you want to be?" And I'm like, hell, I don't know. I do Ironman races. Maybe I'll talk about fitness. So I put in IronManMike. And hey, that's the name. It's hit. And I've been trying to live up to that name ever since. I've completed numerous Spartan races, countless Spartan races. I got a bunch of medals. I'll show you guys in a little bit. Yeah, so
Excuse me.
a little over 5 years, and just excited to be on Clapper. And yeah,
Awesome. Welcome in, Peter and Val and Simply Nay. I saw you come in. Welcome in. All right, Mike, your bio says you're a veteran. I know the answer to this, but I'll ask it this way. What branch did you serve in and how long did you serve?
I served in the United States Marine Corps for 9 years. My first job was a combat engineer, explosive ordnance demolition. After about 3 years, I had gotten married. My wife asked me, "Hey, can we move to Hawaii?" And I jokingly said, "Sure, let me ask my CO." So I saw him like the next week and I asked him, and he goes, "Hold on a minute." He went to his phone, he called the another unit in Hawaii. He said he spent time with this person in training and school. And he came back and he said, "Hey, I got good news and bad news." And I'm like, "Sure, let's go with the good news." Well, the good news is I got your orders, and you got your orders to Hawaii, Honolulu, Hawaii. The bad news was he said, "You have 30 days to go home, pack your stuff, and move you and your wife to Hawaii." And we did it within 30 days. It was an amazing opportunity. I ended up leaving the combat engineer explosive ordnance demolition world to a force reconnaissance Marine Corps unit, which ended up being in Honolulu, Hawaii, just outside of Pearl Harbor. And I became a parachute rigger. Matter of fact, the day I checked in, he was shaking my hand and wouldn't let go, just shaking, and said, "Hey, did you get settled? How was the flight? Did you get yourself a place to live?" And so forth. And just holding my hand would not let go. And he said, "Did you unpack yet?" And I said, "No, not yet." And he goes, "Good." Because then he handed me with his other hand another set of orders to go to Fort Lee, Virginia for like almost a year. And I became a parachute rigger in a force reconnaissance unit and an AR square, the square parachutes that you see military jump in with and guide yourself around. So that
Yep.
was pretty cool. And that was the next chapter of my life. I spent 9 years in the Marine Corps. I was in Honolulu, Hawaii from 90 to 96, so about 6 years.
Welcome in, Sylvia. It's good to see you.
Hello,
All
everyone.
right. Knowing that you're a Marine and you know that I'm a sailor, I have to ask this. It's absolutely necessary. Do you have a particular favorite crayon?
I wasn't prepared for that, but I do have a box of crayons in the other room. Yeah, I like the red ones.
Yeah, I have 2 boxes right over there.
Oh, nice.
Because you never
Well,
know when I may have a Marine friend come to visit and they might want a snack.
you know, that's just great. I just want to say thank you for the ride. Do you know the Navy? They're our Uber ride.
Yeah, but the Marines don't tip worth a damn. I'm just telling you.
Oh, we give the tip. Trust me.
Do you have a particular favorite story from your time in the Marine Corps that you like to tell?
Oh my goodness. There is many, but the first one that popped off, I've got two really fun ones. I got a off base leave story in Okinawa, a drunken fest night. That's an amazing story. I'll share that one in a minute. But the military maneuver one we did, we got orders to do a training mission. You know the little quotes there, training mission,
Yes, sir.
and it was off a nuclear submarine. We had been training for 3 weeks prior to this using the Black Zodiac boats. And we took turns being the coxswain, and that's the person that powers the Black Zodiac. We were camouflaged out. We had our utility uniforms on, and we were getting wet. We had our partial scuba gear on. And basically, we had an opportunity to do I think it was about a few weeks, and we ended up going off the coast of Honolulu, Hawaii, the Big Island, and we did a training exercise where we ended up landing on the island, unknown disclosed location. It was under the cover of nightfall. It was a team spirit battle where it was supposed to last a few weeks. And we got inserted into a perfect advantage point where we could see about 20 clicks excuse me, 20 clicks one direction. And then we can also see the other road coming along in front of us. We were like up in a canyon, and we could see way to the right and way to the left in what was in front of us. Well, we dug in. That means you find a camouflage spot where we bury ourselves into the environment, where you could walk by and look at the terrain and not know that there's a bunch of Marines sitting there watching you. And we literally dug in under bushes, and you could not tell we were in there. And we had a perfect advantage point where we could see and observe what was going on. We were up about 50 feet up above the road below us. And it, day two, it was my watch. It was pre-dawn, right as the sun's coming up. You know how it's dark, but it's just starting to turn light, and it's that
Right.
beautiful purple blue sky. And I was just in awe. It was a beautiful, no clouds in the sky, just beautiful. Just the temperature was perfect. It is Hawaii, and what happened is we saw this convoy. I saw this convoy. I had the binoculars. We had these special binoculars where you can see like fine focus, like miles away. And this was about 20 clicks away. And I was able to see a convoy of vehicles that were carrying various weapons. I'm talking about howitzers, 510s, deuces, carrying water buffaloes and personnel carriers. And I called it in, and we ended up ending the war. We were able to, again, it was like a war game, and I was instrumental. And matter of fact, it's on Wikipedia. When you look this up, it was a team spirit assault, and my team was instrumental in capturing the enemy. And yeah, we won. So we kicked ass, and I was instrumental. I'm the one that found it and observed it and called it into the CO, and they called in an airstrike, and they annihilated them. So we won.
That's awesome, brother. Peter Haywood wants to know if you've ever been on a nuclear submarine.
Yes. Matter of fact, we were stationed just outside of the nuclear submarine, and we actually went underway numerous times. As a matter of fact, one particular training mission, we ended up going out for several weeks on a nuclear submarine. Matter of fact, this nuclear submarine, I think it was 5 or 6 stories tall, And coincidentally, a little side story, real quick. You guys know I travel a lot. I had the opportunity to see a guy who was wearing a Birmingham nuclear submarine shirt, and I looked at him and I thought to myself, man, this guy looks familiar. I wonder if it's the same guy that I became friends with on this nuclear submarine decades ago. Sure enough, we're getting off the plane, and I said, "Hey, excuse me, uh, I was on that nuclear submarine." And he looked at me. He goes, "Your name is Mike, isn't it?" And I went, "Wait a minute." He goes, "Yeah, you're the Marine." He remembered me from like 20 years ago. What a coincidence! But I wasn't stationed on it, but we rode on this nuclear submarine just outside of Pearl Harbor numerous times. Matter of fact, if I got a photo of it in my photo album, actually, I'll have to share it with you guys one day.
That's
But
cool.
I'm letting you know right now that it was such a pleasure to run into someone that recognized me and I recognized him. And but yeah, being on a nuclear submarine was amazing. Guess where we slept?
I wouldn't know.
So all the bunks were taken, and they put all of us Marines. There's about six of us. We literally slept on top of these missiles. They were about 9 inches. Let me try and get there. Anyway, it was so round, the circumference, that we're able to sleep on our backs or on our stomachs, just kind of like on top of it in the center of it, and that's where we slept. We took turns rotating. Different century, we'd have somebody posted because we had our weapons there. We took turns being fire guard, fire watch. So
Right.
that's pretty much where we took turns sleeping at. What's up,
That's pretty
American
cool.
Truth?
So Gangster Granny asked, how's your English accent coming along?
Man, I haven't done that in a while. She's referencing I did a play with um, Diva Las Vegas, and let's see who else was in there. Man, there was a bunch of us in there, um, and that was a while ago. But yeah, maybe I'll share it a little bit. It's been a minute since I've done it, though.
American Truth wants to know who are some of your favorite creators on Clapper.
American Truth, you're one of my favorite. Big Tank is. Everyone in the chat right now, you're all my favorite. You guys all rock. You guys are amazing. I also have a podcast, and I've interviewed many of you on my podcast. So much love to my Clapper community and family.
All right. Peter also wants to know if you've ever heard of Royal Navy's elite regiment called the Special Boat Service, SBS.
Absolutely. Yes, I have heard of them. Matter of fact, the training I received alongside Navy SEALs, being in a force reconnaissance unit, I had the pleasure to go to numerous schools side by Navy SEALs. We had some guest Royal Marines from the British Royal who came to train. We trained them in the, um, uh, they got their skill set from, well, not every school, but the schools I had been to, I have seen and been in some of the classes with them.
Right on. Before I move on to other topics, what advice would you give to a young person who's considering joining the Marine Corps?
Don't do it. I'm teasing. Man, I wouldn't trade it for the world. It was one of the best opportunities that I've had in my life. I joined the Marine Corps in 87. Now I'm dating myself. I was a collegiate college varsity wrestler. I went into boot camp in the best shape I had ever been in my life. And when I got to boot camp, I ended up being the guide through first, second, and almost through the third phase. The experience, the training was amazing. If you're looking to be fit and if you're looking to honor your country, any branch of the service would be amazing. However, choose your job wisely. Try and find a skill set. When you get out of the military, you are setting yourself up for success.
Absolutely. Paul asks, who influenced you the most in your life?
That is a great question. Let's see. Let me think about that one for a minute. So, in a roundabout answer, there's been many different individuals who have influenced me in my lifetime during different challenges and different times of my life. In the beginning part of my life, when I was in junior high and high school, I had a best friend. His name was Mike as well. And I used to spend the night at his house often. And his father, I would say after the third time I spent the night, said, "Hey, where's your homework?" And I would spend the night on the weeknights. And he scolded me one time saying, "Hey, my kids are all doing homework and you're sitting around doing nothing. I know you have homework. You're not coming over again spending the night if you don't bring your homework." So I got scolded by another man, by another father that was not my dad. And I was taken back by that because my mom was raising me. I didn't have a dad figure. So I would say the first role model in my life, honestly, would be Mr. Leatherman. He was an amazing man who taught me a lot about life. He also was an Army um, veteran. He actually is the person that invented the turret in the, I think it was the M1 Bradley tank.
Nice.
He retired from the Army and ended up joining, I think it was called GE in San Jose, California, and he was the engineer that worked on the Bradley, the M1, if I recall. And that was it was really cool. At his house, he had this amazing diagram in his home, like a picture frame of what he designed. So that was pretty cool to know him as a historic person and a father figure. And yeah, so that would definitely be someone that would definitely had influenced me as a young man.
That's awesome. Peter wants to know, what advice would you give to someone who's rotating back to civilian life after 20 years in the military?
Yes. So that's an open-ended, loaded question. It really depends on what effects occurred to this young man or young woman. Let's just jump right into it. So I've got diagnosed with PTSD. So worst case scenario, if you have a form of mental health dysfunction of any sort that impedes your day-to-day simple life, number one, I highly recommend that you continue, and if you haven't gone, that you seek professional assistance that will help you transition from military life back to civilian world. Not saying that you're to give up your military lifestyle, but there is some traditional transitions that you're going to need some assistance with, and I highly recommend that you get that help. In addition to that, there's many military groups, from the American Legion to the VFW, Foreign Wars. I highly recommend that you become a member. I'm a member of a few different organizations. Matter of fact, there's a third one I'm about to join called it's the Marine Unit here in the town I live in, and they've been trying to excuse me, they've been trying to get me to join. Excuse me one second while I take a
No problem.
sip of my water here. Hold on.
Nice product placement, Mike.
Sorry about that. That was legit. I highly recommend that you get yourself involved with a military group here in Mooresville, North Carolina. I'm going to give a plug to Richard's Coffee Shop. If you're ever in Mooresville, North Carolina, every Thursday morning from 8 till noon, they have a mass meeting of veterans alike from all walks of life that will go there for a meeting once a week. And on Saturdays, it's more of a kind of hang out, playing guitars, having coffee. They have a cafeteria to eat breakfast, but the camaraderie there is amazing. You see young veterans, you see active duty, you see young wannabes to become a military person. Both men and women are there. It's a great community where they have dedications, and it's a great place to go. And of course, they offer the services: mental health, PTSD, financial aid, struggling, job board. It's a great hub. So get yourself connected. So my
Something else I'd
recommendation
like
is to definitely do it.
to add to that, Mike. Um, I would say don't forget the relationships you formed while you were active in the military, and continue to maintain those relationships even once you become a civilian. In much the same way you kept you kept a number of your civilian friends when you joined the military. It doesn't hurt to keep your foot in both worlds,
Well,
and
it's
it also
funny.
makes the transition easier.
Yep, it's funny that you mentioned that. By the way, I turned my volume up. I found the button. Can you guys hear me better now, I hope?
Hear you just fine, brother.
Okay, so absolutely 100% what Tank just said. Definitely hang on to your friends. Keep that brotherhood, sisterhood going. Matter of fact, my first unit I was part of, we have every other year we have a reunion. And coincidentally, there is one, two, three, there's about 3 or 4 Marines who I served with in the Marine Corps that I also went to high school with that I still talk to. Coincidentally, 2 of them I also went to junior high school with. Coincidentally, 2 of them, no, 3 of them, I also was in the Boy Scouts with them. So 3 of us not only were in Boy Scouts, middle school, high school, and then joined the Marine Corps. 2 of us went to college, and then I joined later, a couple years later. And yeah, and we still go to these reunions. And matter of fact, on Facebook, I'm still connected with them, and I still talk to them. Matter of fact, I had a text today from one of them that I talk to at least once or twice a week to this day, and I've known him since I was like 8 or 9.
That's awesome, brother. And there's probably 30 guys that I served on my first ship with that I'm still in regular contact with. Facebook does help with that. It's one of the reasons I keep Facebook.
Absolutely.
I do have a couple more questions here. One, Lena wants to know, what is something you still wish to accomplish?
You know, that's a great question. I actually was just thinking about that today. Those of you that know me and have looked at my content, I travel the world. I have an amazing occupation where, and I'm sure Tank's going to get into that in a little bit, but I get to travel the world. So I won't get into too much until later. But the unique opportunity of getting my bucket list checked off is it has been pretty cool. But I did recognize that there's a few things that I'd like to do. And to answer your question, I had a FaceTime from my daughter, and her boyfriend reached out to me late last night and said, "Hey, Dad, we did some historical deep dive on your great great grandfather, which we discovered came from the Basque region of Spain, and they migrated in the 1800s to uh, Guadalajara, or Guadalajara. I can't remember the name of the city in Mexico. They immigrated from Spain to Mexico. My great great grandfather had married his bride at 19, and unfortunately, she died at 30. And then he remarried at 31 or 32, a year or two later, and they found the records. If anyone is trying to do a deep dive on their ancestors, they discovered that the Mormons have really done a great job by getting all the public records from centuries ago and really collected it and put it together through the Catholic churches. And their records go back to, we found records going back to Spain, from the city from where my name originates from, back in the 16 or 1700. I can't remember what century, but he was rattling off historical data from there, and we were able to trace back my lineage 6 generations. So me, my father, my grandfather, my great grandfather, my great great grandfather, and then my great 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 grandfather. 6 generations back. We did that last night, and he was showing me all this information, and just it's like mind-boggling. And then some of you know that I've been wanting to go to Spain, so that's the other thing to answer your second part of your question. I've been wanting to go to Spain. I want to go to the northern portion of the Basque, Basque
UE.
UE, yeah, that's it, region. And there's actually a town, a city with my last name from where I'm from. And
Cool.
the spelling is slightly off, but I guess it's a different enunciation. But but I think it's there's a whole town and a river with my last name, and I just discovered that last night. So coincidentally, I get to share that today.
That's awesome, brother. And
Yes.
I don't know if you knew, Mike, I am a genealogist.
I think I do remember you telling me that. Yes.
I've been researching my family history for almost 17 years. There's over 19,000 people in my family tree, and I have branches of my family tree that go back into the 13 and 1400s.
Right. Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing. It's really fascinating to get into.
You and
But I want to
my
get to more.
future son-in-law, I'm sorry, you and my future son-in-law would have a great conversation. He said, I'm getting geeked out. I'm love doing this. He did his family, and now he did my daughter and mine last night, and he was just like, he geeks out, and he said, man, I'm nerding out on this. I love doing this. I should introduce the two of you. I bet you guys would have a lot in common to discuss about that.
Put him in touch with me. I'll be glad to talk to him.
I will do that.
The Mormons have the preeminent genealogy database in the world.
Yes.
Bar none. And there's a few ways you can access it. If you want to pay for it, Ancestry.com is a good way. If you don't, then the Mormons maintain a website with their own, where you can access the information free of cost. So there's many ways to do that. Ted, I see your question. I'll get to that, but I want to ask this one because it's more topic of what we've been talking about. Lena asked, what advice would you give to the spouse of a soldier? I'll amend that to say a soldier, a Marine, a sailor, airman, somebody from the military.
That's another excellent question. So, if you are a spouse of a current or to be in the future military person, or even if you're a spouse of a veteran, I want to first of all take my hat off and praise the ones who have stayed by their military person, who has not faded away and cheated or did anything negative on this person. The highest divorce rate amongst military, I mean, it's very high, unfortunately. Uh, I couldn't stress enough that there is such great intention, but the truth is, be told, PTSD, mental health is real. Unfortunately, the things that we see and endure is real, and it's definitely a strain on our mental health. And if you're in for the long haul, we need you by our side. We need you to be faithful. We need you to be there and understand. If y'all need to go to counseling to understand the dynamics, I recommend it. But I had gotten cheated on by my wife when I had left for 8 months for orders, and I couldn't bring my wife with me to my training because you can't bring your spouse with you to training. A duty station, yes. But when we ship out for 6 months, 8 months, or whatever it's going to be, or a whole year, we need you to be faithful. We need you not to cheat on us. We need you to be there for us. We need your support. And so my advice to you is, if you can't do it, don't commit. But if you're going to commit, get help, get a support team, have a support team that will help you get through the absence of your spouse or your significant other.
And if I can include this here, Mike, all branches of the military have support groups for spouses and families of service members. That's the reason they're there, because they know how hard it is when you're separated for 6 to 8 months or more. and they're there to support families, because it's really a difficult thing. If you're considering being a spouse of someone in the military, do it with your eyes wide open and understand it's not going to be an easy road for you. It's just part of the being in the military, and it's when you marry a military person, even though you don't put on the uniform and swear that oath, you're part of that military family. You're an important part, because quite often you're what grounds that guy or girl when they come back from their deployments. They keep them sane. And yes, if they have PTSD, that makes it that much more difficult. But still, utilize whatever you have. Use to counseling, use to support groups, form friendships with other military spouses that understand what you're going through. All of that helps.
100% agreed.
All right. Ted wants to know, if you could talk to your younger self, what advice would you give your younger self?
Another great question. Let's see. I would probably tell my younger self to, I've stayed away from drugs. I've stayed away from smoking. I've stayed away from drinking moderately majority of my life. I've really stuck to fitness. Well, so regarding that life, I wouldn't have changed anything because I was very locked on with that. Now, the advice I would have given myself, which I'm giving my kids now, is invest in your future now. If you are a young person or an older person, doesn't matter. If you got a steady income coming in, I don't care if it's $20 a paycheck or if it's $200 a paycheck. Whatever you can give to yourself, put it away in a 401k, in a mutual fund that will gain moderate interest. You don't need to risk it all. I'm telling you right now, in 20 years from now, in 10 years from now, your money is going to go into the thousands, to the hundreds and thousands, into the millions, depending on how much you're putting in. Invest, invest, invest. And the other thing I'm going to encourage you, and what I've been doing, but reading self-help books, business books, financial books. And I'm telling you right now, my favorite one is emotional intelligence. Read, read, read. I'm telling you right now, if you understand communications, finances, and business, you will be successful.
Absolutely. Peter wants to know, do you think we should save or scrap fossil fuels?
Save or scrap fossil fuels? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Well, save or scrap?
I think
you mean utilize it? You mean use it?
That's what he's use it or not use it.
I would say we should use it because there's an abundance amount of it, and I think humans are resilient. If it ever runs out, basically we're going to have enough knowledge and technology that we'll figure it out. I mean, we're already doing it with. I used to work side by side with Elon Musk. I literally my desk was about 20 feet from his desk in 2014 or 2016. I watched that man, I helped that man build and create Tesla Motors in Fremont, California. I had the pleasure of learning so much from that man. I'm letting you know right now, the amazing stuff that he's created with SpaceX, with Mars, the rover, and all his future endeavors. There's many, many more humans on this earth that have like minds, that are also able to create and think of new technology and new stuff. So I'm not worried about our future generations if we run out of oil.
I would also like to add all these other means of power, whether it's nuclear, wind power, electric power, every bit of that utilizes fossil fuels. So, Peter, I would say don't worry because fossil fuels are not going away.
They're not.
So you've mentioned wife and kid. Are you married now?
No, I'm about 4 years divorced now. I'm not currently dating anyone. I've been taking care of myself. I've been traveling for the last 2.5 years nonstop with not one vacation. And I'm letting you know right now, I'm currently on medical leave from work. So that's kind of like vacation because I'm not working at the moment. So I'm enjoying being home at my house. I'm still traveling. You probably saw a video or two that I posted recently. I went to Las Vegas and Arizona, and I'm actually going to my daughter's college graduation December. In December, she graduated a whole semester early. Matter of fact, I'm having dinner with her tonight. She's home for the holidays for Thanksgiving, but we'll be going there to Boise State for her graduation. So I am still traveling, but the cool thing is I'm working on my house. I'm working on projects that I've not had a chance to work on at all. And it's just going really, really well. And I am currently working on a French drain, a 220 line for a hot tub I'm installing in my new backyard. I got about just under a half an acre, and it's been pretty amazing. And that's been great. I'm really enjoying that. And French drains, new sanded deck, staining deck. So I've been doing a lot of cool projects around the house right now, and I'm enjoying getting that done. I just ordered some new Ring cameras and security door locks, and punch key codes and
Right.
stuff like that. So I'm tricking out my house a little bit, and I'm having fun.
How many kids do you have?
I have three biological daughters, and I have three stepdaughters, and my ex-wife has two stepsons, or two sons, so two
Right.
stepsons as well. So a lot of kids in my family.
Right on. What's your favorite thing about being a dad?
Wow, that's that. I would say my favorite thing is being able to show them and teach them knowledge that I have learned and have experienced, and or share something really neat with them. And I think the most memorable things is when we go do things together. I've taken my kids camping, I've taken them fishing, I've taken them shooting weapons. I've just taught them how to ride bikes and tie their shoes, and just working out. My youngest daughter, as you know, I shared in the beginning, I do Ironman races. So I started doing Spartan races, and one day she's all, "Hey, can I do one too?" They had a kids one called the Kids Spartan Races. So when she was like, I think 7 or 8, I entered her, and she did really well. She ended up doing so well. She ended up doing the Kids World Championship. This was about 5 or 6 years ago, and she did really good. She placed in the top, I think the top 10, top 15, I can't remember, in the world. And she still has her medals from that. But it's just neat watching your kids become a mini you, whether it's a male or female, it doesn't matter. It's just neat to, I love my kids. I love teaching them. I love experiencing new things with them. I took my entire family to Hawaii 2 years ago, and that was such an amazing experience, taking group pictures on the beaches in the North Shore, and just doing different things. Life, we're here for a short period of time. Experience, don't put it off. Do it today. Don't wait till tomorrow.
Absolutely, brother. What are your hobbies besides traveling?
Well, I love building. I've done many videos where I've created, matter of fact, the shelving behind me, I created this shelving. It's here, I'll show you guys real quick here. It's a shelving that I made out of metal and wood. I did the wood myself. I burnt the wood. I sanded it. I stained it, and it's kind of like a fun little hobby. where I get to do that.
Right on.
I like creating and building. That's why I'm building a entire oasis in my backyard right now, and I'm installing a hot tub. I'm doing French drains. Yeah, so I just like building and creating and designing really cool things.
Okay. Peter also wants to know if you've ever worked private security.
I not private security, no.
Okay. Steve Deitch asked, do you think the Navajo code talkers and Native American culture have been recognized for their efforts?
I don't think they have. I feel like there should be more of a movement to get them out there. I recently saw a video about this not too long ago. I don't remember if it was here on Clapper. I heard it, but I want to say I didn't know much about it until this past year.
Okay. Rockin' Horse, which is our friend Karen, wants to know if you believe there is climate change, or do you think the Earth is cycling?
Climate change happens with the seasons, and currently it's there's a I don't know what the cycle is, but it could be 50 years, it could be 100 years. I don't know the cycle, but as we know, the glaciers have been melting, but it's going to happen again. It's going to rotate. I mean, there's been history that has proven that climates do change. Of course, they change. I live in a climate zone where I get to experience 4 seasons. It's pretty cool. I'm in the Mooresville, North Carolina area, and it's pretty cool. I'm enjoying it. Yeah. I used to live in California, and, we got one season, summer year round.
Mike, I want to ask a few specific to Clapper questions, which I try to do at least a couple every interview.
Sure.
First question, what keeps you on Clapper?
That's a great question. As many of you know, about a year ago, I stopped doing lives. I have only done maybe 5 this past year, maybe 4. I don't do them anymore. Too much drama. A lot of, when radio first came out, I was excited because a lot of I've had a podcast now. I actually started doing radio back in the day with, oh geez, now I can't remember what was that puppet guy's name? I can't remember. Anyway, so
the comedian,
the comedian guy, yeah, he did.
Jeff Dunham.
What was his name?
Is it Jeff Dunham?
No. He was a creator here on Clapper out of Las Vegas. He had a radio, and I was a guest DJ, and I went on there, and this was right when COVID was kicking in. Anyway, yeah, so I was enjoying doing a radio. I did it from 7 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and I had a regular show, and then I ended up starting my own podcast. So when Clapper came up with the idea of like, hey, we're going to do radios, I originally thought the radios, each person was going to be hosting and being like a radio DJ and playing music and having fun. But it ended up turning into a hangout session, and it turned me off a little bit about that because drama began. People bitched about this. People would use the radio to complain or whine, and I got sucked up into it. And then I took a step back and like, people started blocking each other and the drama. I'm just like, I don't need this. And then I'd go into someone else's radio or live, and within a second, I'm being blocked, and I'm like, what did I do? Drama. And I just said, you know what, I'm done. So I took a huge step back. Unless I can trust someone and I'm very close with this person. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of creators on here that I'm very close with. I still have my ties, and I love you guys. But out of respect, out of my own sanity, my own mental health, I had to stop. I had to stop going into people's lives. It was just too much. I started focusing on me. I started focusing on my career. And actually, realistically, the real reason is, man, I was traveling so much. Those of you that know, I've been traveling internationally, all states, North America, Canada, all provinces, and I've been traveling so much that I just didn't have time. I was doing investigations. I was doing collecting and gathering evidence. I was doing reports, and I was staying focused with that, and that really kept me busy. Um, the other cool thing is, I reached out to many of you when I was in a city or state near you. I've seen over 100 creators on this app besides the creators that I got to see in person and squeeze and hug, like Nay on here, and others that went to the Clapper meetup 2.5, 3 years ago. Now it's been a minute now, hasn't it?
It has.
So I love seeing you guys in person. I've had lunch or dinner with numerous of you on here, and a lot of you are on here now. You know who you are, and that's been amazing. I saw Maga Lori in here a minute ago. Met up with her a couple of times. I've met up with even Nay. I've seen Nay. I mean, there's so many of you on here that I've seen that it's been amazing. So I've really enjoyed personal in person FaceTime with you guys, and I love it. Yeah, it's been yeah,
Well,
yeah. Matter of fact, American Truth, him and I were supposed to meet up at one point, but we had just missed each other on one of my trips. I've seen Princess Luna numerous times. Um, and yeah, there's so many of you on here that I have seen in person. I met up with Rooster, I think, 2 times. But yeah, I've met up with the Black Spider Man a couple of times, and it's been amazing. It's been an amazing ride meeting and having genuine friends here on Clapper. Absolutely.
now, having said all that, what Clapper creators have you not met that you'd still like to meet?
Oh, that's really cool. Well, you and we've been talking about meeting up. I can't wait to meet up with you in person. Definitely want to meet up with you. I know American Truth. Him and we've chatted a few times. It'd be great to meet up with him. Go get a beer and go talk politics. I think him and I align very well in that aspect. I know American Disney. Her and I've talked a bunch of times, and that would be cool to meet up with her and go to frickin' Disneyland. Let's all meet up. I told her that'd be fun. However, I'm
That would
kind
be
of
fun.
boycott Disneyland at the moment, but hey, that's I'm hearing that they're trying to change their chin around right now, but we'll see.
All right, I'm trying to get caught up. Bugs asked, if you woke up a millionaire, what would you do first?
Great question. I've actually thought about this, and I'm actually working on that right now. So I'm setting myself up for success. I've been investing for the last 5 years. I've been investing heavily. I've been setting my kids up. I've been getting them set up with accounts, encouraging them to put their money aside. Um, I feel like it's important that you hear so many stories about people who become wealthy and within months, in under a year, they're in debt. So setting myself up for success, making sure I have my accountings, money market accounts, investments, portfolio. I've got all those set up. So I'm slowly padding that now. So it's just a matter of like, again, to what I open with, you need to be responsible for your money. Does that mean not to go buy the nice house or a new car? It really depends on your wealth. You got to remember you got taxes to take care of, but you need to set yourself up for success and make sure you don't mismanage your money. Get a good CPA and just be smart with your money.
Right on. Lena wants to know what is your next project that you'd like to work on?
Well, coincidentally, you're looking at it. I shared my studio a little bit. I'm been traveling so much. I'm currently home on medical leave, so I've been working on my studio here in my podcast. And if you guys want to see it real quick, I can show you. So this is my current project. I'm actually working on one right now. Let me turn this around, and you can see. the equipment. I've been working on lights, new monitor over here, so I can probably wake that back up. I've got some lights over here. I got a really cool camera right there that takes pictures. I've got my got my stand over here, the laptop. Look at, I'm turning everything on real quick. It all went to sleep while I've been on here. I've got microphones. You see all that padding down there, that soundboard? You can't probably tell, but the walls all have soundboard on it, all
That's
the way
cool.
around, soundboard. And then behind me, I've got a shelving background that I've been working on that has all my little trinkets all over it that I've been collecting in every city and state and country that I go to and travel. So that's been fun. So putting together so this is my project. I've been working on lighting. I've been investing in equipment, and I also have a store. I have an online store where you can buy IronManMike merchandise. You can also buy IronManMike things and stuff. But yeah, I've really just been working on a lot of equipment and getting that all put together. And yeah, that's been fun. I also have this cool little mug here,
Right.
little IronManMike mug.
Mike, I'd like to take a minute, if you don't mind, and announce that next week, 3 o'clock Central Standard Time, I will be interviewing a young lady named Love by Joseph. She's Tanya to her friends. She's not a big creator on here yet, but she's an amazing person, and I'm really looking forward to that interview.
Well, I'm looking forward to it too. But yeah, I do have an online store. If you go to my my bio here and click on my bio, I've got 305 products that you can support my channel, my YouTube channel, my Clapper channel, and you can buy some IronManMike merchandise, and I'd greatly appreciate that.
We're running short on time, Mike. I want to ask you, can you tell us what your podcast is about?
My podcast started talking about fitness, nutrition, working out, cardio, weightlifting, and then it morphed into me being in the Marine Corps, PTSD, talking about different topics. I try and stay away from religion topics and politics topics, and I try to stick with things that I know, friendships, relationships, different things that I've been involved with. I've been talking about finances. We even have topics about UFOs. That's been a fun topic. If you go to YouTube and type in Mike Ureta, the link is in my bio right here. I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel. I am reviving my channel. Again, I've taken a 2-year hiatus because of my work, but I've recorded about 3 shows recently, and I'm getting those edited, and I'm going to be uploading those soon. But I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel in addition to supporting and buying some merchandise on my store.
I believe I am subscribed, but I'll double check and be sure. I know it's been a couple years since you've really been active with your podcast, but who has been your favorite podcast guest?
Hey, that's a great question. You know, I've had a lot of favorites because there's different topics. One of my, well, let's see. You know, the Black Spider-Man, he's had, I've had 3 interviews with him on my podcast. Those have been pretty cool. I've had Captain American Badass, firefighter captain. She's on there. She's on some of my highlight reels. She's been pretty cool. She's a firefighter. I've had Craig Newmark, who is the owner and inventor of Craigslist. I've interviewed him. And one of my other favorite is NASCAR's historian, Hall of Famer, Richard Childress, and he is the owner of Junior, Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s and his dad's cars. And he's got his grandkids who are driving for him now. So I've got that podcast on as my pinned podcast. So yeah, I've had some pretty cool historians. I've had some amazing veterans on there. Ansel Brown, those of you that don't know who Ansel Brown is, he is a current national recording artist, debuted Spotlight album right now, The Whiskey Makes Her Miss Me. He is kicking ass right now. He went from 237th down to 77th spot. So if you like country music, check out anselbrown.com. Follow and check out his music on Spotify and various other platforms. He's about to go, and I've been helping him with his music. So that's a little side thing I've been doing.
And he is a great guy besides, just so y'all know. So, yeah, definitely look up Ansel Brown. He's quite a talented guy.
He's here on Clapper too, by the way.
One other quick question regarding your podcast. I know you're in North Carolina. Ever considered interviewing Richard Petty?
I haven't had that connection or introduction. I'd love to interview him.
That would be, I would definitely see that. I would definitely observe that if you did it.
Do you have a connection?
I did. I used to. I'll reach out and see if I can reactivate some old connections and make it happen.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I'd love to interview him.
No promises, of course.
Of course.
I wanted to get this question because I missed it. Steve Deitch asked, who is your pick as your main Congressional Medal of Honor hero of all time? He said his is John Basilone.
You know what? I've got a challenge coin right to my left over here. I've got a challenge coin I've got two challenge coins from Medal of Honor recipients. Taylor. I think it was John Taylor. I'd have to double check, but he had passed away. I met him in person in California, and he gave me his Medal of Honor challenge coin, which I have it's to my left over here. I haven't hung it up yet, but I have a board that I have about 300 or 400 coins over here to my left. I've been collecting coins, challenge coins, for quite some time, but yeah, it would have to be Taylor. He was amazing Medal of Honor recipient. Met him in person, and he gave me his challenge coin, and man, I've been excited about that. And then I recently got a second one, and I didn't know this person very well, so I'm not really going to speak much about that one. But yeah, that's it.
I've only met in my life two Medal of Honor recipients. One of them that I knew pretty well, his name is Don Ballard. He was a hospital corpsman, and he was awarded the Medal of Honor after throwing himself on a grenade to save the Marines he was tending, and he survived it.
I've actually heard of him.
Yeah, he's a very interesting guy. I'll put it that way. He's a very interesting guy. I couldn't name a favorite Medal of Honor recipient because anyone that's been awarded the Medal of Honor deserves the title of hero. I don't care what branch of service or anything. So they're all my favorites. I wouldn't pick one over the other.
I agree.
I just considered it a blessing that I got to meet a couple of them. I got a bunch more questions, but we don't have the time to get to them today, Mike. So we may have to bring you back. Are you willing to come back again in the
anything for you, brother? Anytime. Just let's put it on the calendar, and I'd love to do it.
All right. Now, one thing I've begun doing, and something I will continue to do, is I like to offer my guests an opportunity to do a shout out. The topic or subject of the shout out's entirely up to you, but this is your opportunity for that. Me
do the shout out or the guests? Or the
you do a shout out for whatever you like or whoever you like. It's all up to you.
Oh, okay. Well, again, I definitely go to my bio. I'd love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I kind of did a shout out earlier with Ansel Brown. He moved down from 253 to 77 on the Music Row debut. Check him out, anselbrown.com. He's amazing. And again, I have merchandise. I got some cool lights. I'd love for you to support my channel. I'm on Facebook. Follow my social media on Facebook. I'd love to get your support. And again, let's hear it for Big Tank, everyone. Thank you so much. You're doing a fantastic job, sir.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. And
did you hear the clapping?
Back on your shout out, I want to shout out Uh, Paul, the Moist Reaper, he is the guy that does the screen recordings, so I can post these interviews on YouTube every week.
Well, let me follow him back then. Thought I was, though. Yeah, I'm already following him.
Also want to shout out all my mods. They do a great job of keeping the conversation flowing, keeping the questions pinned to give me the opportunity to write them down like I do, so
Perfect.
that I get the questions asked. And it's really a team effort every week when we do these interviews. Again, folks, I encourage you next week. We are going to be interviewing Love by Joseph. She's not a big creator, and she really needs to be introduced to Clapper. So I'm looking forward to that, and that should be a lot of fun. And having said that, guys, Mike, I want to thank you so much for being my guest today, and we'll talk about a future date. And I'm thinking maybe again in December, January.
All right, let's put it on the calendar. That's fantastic. I just got an alert. I got another call here at 5 o'clock. I got to jump on another call. But I appreciate you having me here, everyone. Those of you who are here and new on Clapper, I will definitely send me a message. I'll be glad to follow you back. I usually don't do follow for follow, but if you were here for the show, I'd be glad to follow you back. I think I followed all your mods back. But anyway, thank you so much. Appreciate you, and you're amazing. You and I have been friends for quite some time now.
Yes, sir, and will be for quite some time. Thank you again, Mike. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your Sunday.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you all being here.